It's traffic like this all the way. It's going to take a while to cover the miles, isn't it? So, okay, wish us luck. Change of plan there. I was trying to head westbound just because it's a route I don't do so much down the A303. A bit of scenery to see, but we're just hitting solid traffic. Some roadworks further down, so we're never going to cover the miles we need to do in the day. Especially at lower speeds, the car's just more efficient. It will go forever. So. Change of plan, let's head east or north. I'm not quite decided yet. I'll have a look at traffic continuously. We need to keep these cars moving at, you know, kind of 70 miles an hour as much as we can. Otherwise, it would just take too long. So we're now heading east, back past the Stonehenges over there. And I think what we can do is kind of carry on driving until we got 50% of the battery and then turn around and come back the way we come. But it's the only way to really rack up the miles. And the cars are less efficient at 70 miles an hour, remember, so it's kind of like, you know, they could do more miles if we just sat in this traffic jam going 10 miles an hour continuously. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but we're both on cruise control autopilot, 70 miles an hour. There's now nice and empty stretch of dual carriageway. And Gint's in the Model 3 is just starting to fall back a little bit. So this is why these side-by-side tests are really important, because these differences in speed, it can be down to a number of factors, you know, how the car's calibrated, literally probably the amount of tyre wear the car's got. If that had brand new tyres, the slightly bigger roll-in circumference would probably, well, potentially make it the same speed. So this is why these side-by-sides are comparisons, so we know we have both travelled the same distance at the same speed in the same conditions. And what we'll do is we'll take turns to swap around as well, so there's no kind of slipstream benefits to either party or anything like that. But yeah, goes to show, doesn't it? It was just notably falling back over the course of a couple of miles, so there we go. Just spoken to Gints. We've only covered 30 miles, but we're starting to get some interesting data already, so this is going to be a good one. Hi guys, right, we're back where we started actually. So instead of the original plan, which is kind of to just drive a big loop of about the range of the batteries, I was thinking as we were driving along, we basically drove a quarter of the distance away until we used about 25% of the car's battery, and then we drove back again. And now we're going to swap cars. So I'm going to be in the Model 3, Gints will be in the Model Y, and that's just in case our driving styles affect efficiency. You never know. I mean, we're talking tiny little differences here, but maybe even the way Gints has his bass super loud would use more energy. I don't know. But just to rule out driving style discrepancies, that's what we're going to do. And we're going to do exactly the same trip again. And each one we're swapping around halfway at the 25% use mark, so that the one car is in front of the other car in case there's any slipstream advantage as well. So, time for the next half. Have you noticed something on our second lap, Gints? So we're chatting away there, and we had our exit point where we're going to exit and then turn back. So, but we've gone past it. So in theory, I don't think the next exit is for a few miles yet. So in theory,
you're trying to push the limits now.
Well, in theory, you're going to run out. It's going to be
great.
It's going to be tight for us to get back. Like we see, I'll just talk to the camera. Like we were chatting away about efficiency and new batteries, and we'll do all these tests again when new batteries come out at some point down the line. But in doing so, we just breezed past the exit, which is our turnaround point, which means we should get back with just a couple of % left, type of thing. However, we've missed that, and the next exit is further up. So yeah, what do you reckon, Gints? To be fair though,
well, we've been lately talking about our percentage, how much you have and I have. You have more than me.
Well, yeah.
Well, you're okay now. You fought the cars in the right moment. Well done.
I wasn't trying to stitch you up, pal. What I have found, I mean, the car's really 16. This does seem a bit more efficient. I don't know if the Model Y is more efficient. Now, on this second run, it's just better efficiency for this car by the look of it. So, I don't know. How's the Model Y doing?
Yeah, same here. The car is now more efficient. It's reading 240 watt-hours per mile, when before was almost 270, 275 for you.
Okay, well, it needs to be more efficient to be able to do the second lap with more miles, doesn't it? So,
well, yeah, thank God for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll manage. Yep.
Okie dokie, let's keep that efficiency up. 16 degrees and it's dry, so we should be all right.
A few inches later.
Okay, we're getting near the end now. The Model Y doesn't have a vast amount left in it, so we're going to swap places. I'm going to go back in the Model Y just so I can film the process of it
running out. So let's see what happens. Will it just cut out? Will it keep going? Will it go beyond 0? I'm going to try and find out.
Okay guys, and that does 3% of battery, which is displaying 9 miles of range. So let's have a look. What I want to see is I'm going to put in Amesbury now as a charger, as a destination. And I want to see if it still tries to preheat the battery, even though it's short on power available and I've been driving all day. So it's two elements. One of them might say, no, I'm going to keep the energy for getting there. The other one might be that we've been driving all day, the battery's just warming up. So it doesn't look like it. It's just going to take us straight there. 5.5 miles to the chargers, but I've still got 9 miles left. So I'll have to go and do a few more laps yet. Here's the first message on the screen. You're almost too far from main charging location. Show chargers. Brings that up. Amesbury, 1.4 miles. I've got 2% of battery left. So it knows if you're kind of getting outside the radius of the charger that it knows about. So let's cancel that. I'm going to carry on. So there we have it. 0% battery. 270 miles covered since last charge. 73 kilowatt hours used. 266 watt hours per mile is the average, which is a bit less than the lifetime average for this car, 277. So, but the 277 will use like everything. That's commuting, cold start, school runs, all that kind of stuff. So, a little bit more efficient than that, which is kind of what you expect on a longer run, even though motorways aren't the most efficient place for this. The range actually, I thought we'd do a little bit more than this actually, but the colder weather, because it's gone back down to 13 degrees Celsius now, I think 15 Celsius is the sweet spot. That's where you know, above that it was just more efficient, and then it's just costing it a little bit, I think, probably because it's running some heating. It's just starting to show a slight loss of power. So this little grey bar across the top here has just come in a little bit now. So it still drives absolutely fine, but it won't have quite full power anymore. However, it's going okay. So I'm just going to carry on driving. I've now covered 280 miles and it's still going fine. I mean, to be fair, when I came down this hill just now, it flicked back up to 1% because I'd regen some energy. But it seems to settle down now to 0%. So the first 0% was at 275. Now it seems to be kind of settled on 0%. So yeah, kind of 275, 280 miles to that, but it was still driving absolutely fine. So I'm just kind of doing laps now around the lovely Amesbury.
At the end of the day already, and there's Richard in front of me. We always had a 5% difference.
Nej, du kan ikke sidde og drikke sådan gammel øl. Den går ikke.
We had a 5% difference all the time by the end of the journey. And I have 4%. Means he's in the -1%. Still going. So looks like you don't actually need to charge Teslas. They just
Prøv at lukke ud af det. Ja, jeg ved det godt, men det skal
Okay, 288 miles covered. My power's getting more and more limited, so I can still drive 35, 40 miles an hour, but it is starting to get a little bit tight now.
Der er fordi det er gammel,
I think I'm
ikke sidder og
done
drikke så
with
meget.
laps now. I'd love to see this get to 300 miles, but look, I'm just coming off the roundabout, 24. I'm going to floor it. That's me foot on the floor. 27, 28. So I'm going to the chargers now, mate. We don't want to be a danger on the road. So, what have you got left in that one?
I'm 0%.
Right, okay, so you're on 0 as well anyway now. Okay, well, I hope I make it back. This is actually getting a bit tight, so we're going up a hill now. Hopefully it's downhill the rest of the way. Yeah. Might be worth you following me. Right, speak to you in a minute. I've got a warning, vehicle shutting down, pull over safely. I'm going to try and make it down the hill. Oh, here we go, this is it, 288 miles.
Get a regen.
I'm going to get the regen, round and round and about.
Hallo. Den går ikke vel, hvis den lander på lillebror, så bliver han
It did well, look, oh, it's flat here, we need to get down the hill. Let's see if we can make it.
Den skal ikke vendes på i går.
I don't think it will, you know. Alright, I'm going to pull in here. You go and get charge.
Okay.
that's it. So I think we've eked the most out of the Model Y long range. So this has gone dim. Let's turn the climate control off. Let's turn the heat seats off. Oh, I don't want that, do we? Let's turn that right off. So what was the final trip in the end? 289 miles, 76 kilowatt hours used. So,
God.
About 76 kilowatt hours usable, but that's it. So what's going to happen now is Ginz has got a little bit left in the Model 3, but he's not far behind. So to be fair, he's going to go down now and just get a bit of charge, and he can just tow me down to the chargers. That's no problem. There we go. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to do things like pop the frunk, just in case we get like a flat 12 volt as a result of waiting. Drop a window down in case there's any kind of door lockage, and that is it. Just wait for Ginz now. So he better go and get a little bit of charge and come back and tow me back. So what was interesting there, it did actually die off quite quickly at the end there, so I had quite a lot of spare power. I mean, I was even for ages I need to go and charge.
Ja, så finder jeg lige lidt til dig i går i morgen.
The last little bit did actually sort of fade off fairly quickly from half the power band down to nothing. Was pretty quick, so yeah, you have to be a little bit careful there. Okay, so I'm going to pull the frunk up and then I'm going to get the towing eye out, I reckon. How's that for testing? I hope you appreciate this. It's now 4:20 in the afternoon. Myself, colleague Ginz, we've got to obviously get this sorted in the back yet, but no, this has been good. I do really recommend anybody who has got an electric car to kind of drive it to zero. I mean, just go around your housing estate, just kind of get a feel for what happens. I don't think anyone could ever just suddenly die on the motorway because it warns you for ages. It gives you mileage beyond zero. It gradually loses power. So I think it's a really good experience to see exactly what it does. But for now, that's it for me. Just a waiting game for Ginz now.
Well, that didn't go as planned. I'm charging. I'm okay. Richard's dead somewhere in the city. I left him here because I had 0%. So Model 3 covered 293 miles. Used energy 69 kilowatt hours and I averaged 235 watt hours per mile. 13%, 180 kilowatts went up to 240 something for that. I'm gonna go now to Co-op petrol station. Hopefully they have a rope so I can go rescue Richard. And yeah, there we go. That's starting to charge and I'm off to Co-op. What do you think? Is it gonna do? Probably not.
Just have a look at this scenario here. So car died, pulled over. It really didn't take long. It's only a couple of minutes and then the whole 12 volt system shut down. So remember I popped the frunk open? Well, that was dead handy. So let me just try and explain it. And there's a wonderful lady here called Hannah who I really need to thank from Amesbury, right? So the 12 volt system actually then completely shut down. I was sat in the car on the passenger side so it wasn't on. And I actually had to use the emergency button to open the passenger side door. It's pouring with rain. And then we connected to the 12 volt in the front bumper, and that 12 volt only releases the bonnet. I already had the bonnet up, but we just tested it. The bonnet we've now got up, and we now have to connect to the jump leads just under the window scuttles there to a combustion car. So I'm sure everybody who's kind of anti-EV is going to be absolutely loving this moment. Once the 12 volts boosted, we could then open the charge flap, and it would accept a charge from this cable, which is running from the car across the pavement over the hedge into the wonderful lady's house. So I think it's problem resolved, but the whole system shut down way quicker than I thought. So yeah, worth bearing in mind, if you're getting near the end, you've got a few miles left, but it is going to pull over and it's shut down very quickly at the end, and then the whole 12 volt system will die.
Men du må gerne gå med den din, ikke? Men det må kun komme på læberne. Du må ikke spise. Ej, du må ikke spise den. Ellers så bliver jeg bare skræt på dig. Jo.
You probably won't be able to get back in it. So, really important to make sure you leave probably the door ajar, windows down a little bit, and then you can at least sit in the car whilst you're waiting for a breakdown service.
You want to show that the windows didn't get down completely, so you can't even shut the door.
Yeah, we couldn't even shut the door, so you use the emergency button to get out, but you need to push you out, but then you can't close the door because this window here clashes with this frame. So, and you need the 12 volt system to be alive for it then to accept a charge. We got the charge flap open manually, but it wouldn't do it. It had to have power to the 12 volts, open the flap properly and accept the charge and lock it in. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to all the comments on this one. The anti-EV brigade, I know are going to be doing this, but we're our own fault. We did this for the purpose of testing, so yeah, I hope we do get a thumbs up amongst this lot. We are being silly. The car gave us so many warnings. What we need to do here is just give it about 5-10 minutes on just a 7-pin connection. This is like having a petrol pump straight from this house, by the way, so at least we can do that, and then I'll be able to go to the charger and charge it properly. So there we are. Silly fools, but it's our own fault. There we are. She's charging away again now. So that was to the extreme, wasn't it? And thanks to Hannah once again. What a wonderful lady. So yeah, the 12 volt went dead really quickly. So like I say, you don't want to be out of the car, it locks itself down, you're in the rain and the hard shoulder, so don't do that. What we did there was we plugged it into her 3-pin for about 10 minutes. The car then was alive, we can engage drive. We hooked up a tow rope with our Model 3 and just pulled it a couple hundred yards down the road here. You can't tow these cars with a tow rope of any distance at all, but a couple hundred meters is fine. In fact, that actually regens energy into the battery. We pulled up here with about 4 miles, even in pulling it just a few hundred meters there. So charging away now, just pulled 200 kilowatts. So I'm going to try and log some of its charging time and speed. It's 10 to 7 already. We just said hello to somebody as we pulled up. It's back on 98 miles already. So in probably about 7 minutes it must be. What a day, huh? Okay, so it's very nearly finished charging now, 99%. You wouldn't normally go to such an amount at a charger. I'm doing it for the purpose of this test, of course. So what it did do, this is a charging profile, by the way, so quite a good fast charge initially. The first bit was amazing, maybe 198 kilowatts it charged at, and then it's been tailing off. Very scientific, I think you'll agree. Okay, let me give you some idea of charging time and then cost as well. So it went from nothing, very nearly nothing. So by nearly I mean like it was on obviously absolutely nothing. We pulled it down the hill and so we could reverse it back in here, but next to nothing. Up to 80% took 30 minutes, which is incredible. So these are V3 superchargers, so 250 kilowatt capable and independent power. I've got 198 kilowatt hours at the low end, and then gradually it's been tailing off, as you can see from my very accurate charging curves there. And it looks like we're on track to add 76 kilowatt hours, what was added. In fact, it's 99.5% odd now. It's been on 99 for a minute or two, and it's added 76 kilowatt hours. So let's give you an idea of cost then. So we did 288 miles. That's about the same distance as London Heathrow to Newcastle upon Tyne city centre, by the way, according to Google Maps. So that journey, if you charged at home at the newer increased electric rates of 28 pence per kilowatt hour, would be £21.28. Now, of course, you can get some cheaper overnight tariffs. I certainly used to be able to, and maybe you got solar, so maybe it wouldn't cost that much. But a standard 28 pence per kilowatt hour electric tariff, £21.28. This Tesla supercharger, what would that cost if you did all that from a supercharger? What would it cost to add it back in? There we are, 100% now, 76 kilowatt hours added. So you can see that. So that's it done now. I need to unplug, but if you did that and paid for it off the supercharger here, this is 41 pence per kilowatt hour. That would be £31.16. So £31.16 is the most you can put in a supercharged location like this. Some
lidt tid med her. Ja, så kan vi gå hen til far for nogle
Så venter.
tomater. Prøv at sætte dig op på stolen. Nej, nu står du og hælder vand ud.
Skal du gå ud og vinke til mor? Du går ud og vinke. Hvad?
Altså, jeg kommer igen i aften.
Ja, hun kommer igen lige om lidt. Du går ud og vinke. Så vil du blive herinde. Okay, gå ud og vinke. Kom. Hvor er din mand henne? Kommer der. Skal vi lige give nogen selvfølgelig? Der er vand med. Hvad så han? Hvad er der over det hele? Når du spiser sådan en, ikke? Og så er du nødt til at tage den helt ind i munden, ikke? Og så sprøjter du ud over det hele. Ja, helt ind i munden. Man kan ikke tage en bid af den. Vel? Så godt. Kom op og sidde. Husk at tage den helt i munden, før du lukker munden, og inden du bider. Nå, med en lille trailer. Det er kun en stor traktor, du kan gøre det med. Hej. Hej, lillebror. Hej lillebror. Hej hej. Ja. Ja.